Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I will be reading an Arlecchino listener by me. So let's get into it. The mission was supposed to be simple, or so you thought. Disguised as a guest, you infiltrated the lavish banquet, playing the role of a diplomat's companion. Arlecchino was somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye on everything. But for now, you were alone. The crowd buzzed with laughter and conversation, and as a servant approached with a tray of drinks, you took one to blend in. And you were about to raise the glass to your lips, when suddenly a firm hand grabbed your wrist. Startled, you turned to find Arlecchino beside you, her sharp eyes narrowing as she yanked the drink from your hand. You had not even realized she actually marched all the way here. But, all of a sudden, she was acting so strangely. "What are you?" You started, confused by her sudden aggression. "Don't drink that. It's poisoned," she said, her voice low but dangerous. She held the glass up to the light, her gaze darkening as she scrutinized the liquid inside. And your heart skipped a beat as you saw it. Poison? But how do you know? She did not answer immediately, her jaw clenching as she tossed the glass aside, letting it shatter on the ground. "I've seen enough of these tricks to know when someone's trying to kill you." Your breath hitched, the gravity of her words sinking in. Someone here had tried to poison you. You knew the mission was dangerous from the start, but this was a blatant attempt on your life, right under your nose. "Who?" You whispered, your mind racing. Who could have done this? And why? Arlecchino's hand slipped to your back, guiding you away from the crowd and into a quieter corner. Her touch was firm, protective. "That's what I'm going to find out," she said, her voice a promise of vengeance. "But right now, we need to focus on getting out of here safely. Stick close to me." You nodded, your chest tight with both fear and relief. Arlecchino had saved you, yet again. You trusted her with your life, truly. But the reality of the situation was hard to swallow. You should have been more prepared for things to take a turn this way, but you did not anticipate them to escalate this quickly. I didn't even notice," you muttered, more to yourself than to her. "I didn't feel a single thing off." "That's because they're clever," she said, her tone cold and calculated, as she glanced around the room, already assessing threats. "They waited for the right moment, when you would be distracted. And the poison they used is not one you'd find commonly." You frowned as you heard her words, and you wanted to ask her. "You're always so calm. How do you do it?" Her eyes softened slightly as she turned to face you fully, her hand coming up to brush a stray strand of hair behind your ear. "I am not calm. I'm just good at hiding it. When it comes to you, I'm anything but calm," she admitted, her voice quieter. And you could tell just how much fire there was in her right now when she truly looked at you. The weight of her words settled over you, making your heart race for reasons entirely different than before. You stared up at her, her throat suddenly dry. "Arlecchino, I can't lose you. Not like this," she said, her voice rough around the edges, a rare vulnerability slipping through. and your chest tightened, and you reached out to place a hand over hers. You won't, she promised, though even you were not really sure if you believed it entirely. The world you lived in was dangerous, and both of you knew that there were no guarantees in the life that you led. But right now, in this very moment, you felt her conviction, her desire to keep you safe, and that was more than enough for you. We need to leave, Arlecchino said, pulling herself back to the task at hand, and she took a step back. Her grip on your arm remained firm. I'll deal with whoever did this later. Don't you worry yourself about it. And so, you followed her lead, weaving through the partygoers, your nerves still on edge. The further you got from the crowd, the more you realized just how close you had come to a fatal mistake. If Arlecchino had even been just a couple moments late, well, you're glad she was not. I should have been more careful, you murmured, guilt gnawing at you. I should have noticed something was off. Arlecchino stopped, turning to face you once more. It's not your fault. They are experts. They prey on moments of distraction. Don't blame yourself. But now you've learned your lesson, and you'll be more careful in the future, right? You nodded, though it was hard to shake the feeling that you'd been reckless. But perhaps Arlecchino was just softer on you because she realized you knew your mistake. And as you reached the exit, she pulled you aside, out of sight from the crowd, and she kept your face in her hands. Are you all right? Yeah, I am. Thanks to you. She leaned down, pressing a gentle kiss to your forehead. That's good, because next time, I will not be so patient with whoever tries this again. You couldn't help but laugh lightly at that. That does sound like you. Of course it does. Now let's get out of here. And as the two of you made your way out, you couldn't help but feel a sense of comfort in her presence. Because no matter how close you got to danger, you would always have her to fall back on.